Bramble and Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Now, Ray Mancini will join me in the studios across town here in New York City, and we'll talk about his future in boxing. And there's an American story developing in the Netherlands. We'll have same-day coverage via satellite of the final day action of the World Sprint Speed Skating Championships in Holland. That's after this game here on CBS Sports Sunday. Now, sandwiched between the NBA and Sports Sundays, the NBA and golf is Sports Sunday, and golf comes on live 4 o'clock Eastern, the final round of the Doral Golf Tournament. Now, our leaderboard is like this. Tom Kite, Frank Connor, and Bill Kratzer, they're all tied for the lead. But how about Jack Nicklaus? He's only one stroke back, and they'll all hit the course shortly, and we'll have that live for you at 4. Here's what's happening now around the NBA in her performance.
Whose white stripes and bright stars through the barrel this fight? What so gallant is
7-year-old Natalie Roth found out firsthand what Hollywood jitters are all about.
I started singing and I took the mic and a frog came to my throat and I was really mad at that frog, so I asked somebody to take it out.
It was a combination of referee Jess Thompson and sympathetic players and fans who persuaded Natalie the show must go on.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so
I was just kind of watching her and seeing what was going to happen. And she was looking around for her mother and just kind of searching people's eyes, and her eyes caught mine. She just looked. I looked at her and she looked at me, and I said, do you want to go back out there? Come on, I'll go back out there with you. I'll help you.
Or the land and the free and the home and the brave.
You know, I think for his efforts there, Jess Thompson ought to get a week's grace from booing from the fans. Way to go, Jess. With the big heart, capped a lifelong dream by winning the WBA World Lightweight crown from Art Frias. Mancini was on top of the world, one of the most popular heroes in all of sports. Last June, Boom Boom put that title on the line against Livingstone Bramble. Mancini was a 4-1 favorite against the unknown Bramble, but it was not Boom Boom's night. The title he cherished was gone, and the scars cut deeply.
As far as Bramble, as a fighter, yes, I respect him as a fighter. As a person, no, I have no respect for him, and that's just the way it is.
I demand respect, but if I don't get the respect, I'll treat you like you're dirt.
And after the bitter verbal sparring, the stage was set for Mancini to have another crack at the man who shattered his dream, Livingstone Bramble. For Bramble, too, this fight was important. He knew that if he didn't repeat, he'd never be taken seriously as the champion. Mancini Bramble 2, the rematch, the fight of the year. 15 rounds of non-stop toe-to-toe action. And you'll see it all next here on CBS Sports Sunday.
Along with Erik with a report on today's speed skating activity here in the Netherlands. The races are over for today, but as the thousands of spectators file out here of Chaloff Stadium, they carry with them, Erik, the memory of some astounding American performances. You know, yesterday you mentioned that the American men's sprinters would have to do something here this weekend, or it'd be time for some newer, younger talent.
And they did something very big. I think they lived up to and beyond even their highest dreams. You know, things look really bright for the future of skating. It kind of reminds me of 1977 when America really started its string of success up toward 1980, and it's been 5 years since a skater stood up on that podium after the final classification, and I think, as you'll see, we did it a number of times today.
And Erik, you got to believe that Erik Henriksen today was thinking about that fall and that skate that broke yesterday when he was readying himself for the 1,000. Here now, Henriksen's 500 from earlier today. Henriksen is keeping up with Gaetan Boucher. Boucher, the Olympic double gold medalist on the inside, and Henriksen on the outside, the final stretch, and the 26-year-old American is being tugged along by Boucher.
It's a good pair for Henriksen. Boucher's a little bit ahead of him, not that far, so it's devastated him. It's pulling along.
38.00 for Boucher, so he's in the lead. And since this is the first pairing, and Henriksen comes up with 38.06, that's a great time to set.
He likes that a lot.
Boy, that was great. But since Erik had skated first, there were still 30 others who could knock him out. So Henriksen could only listen to that starter's pistol over and over again and wait. He soon saw his second place time slip to third. Time was running out. But when they had all skated, Henriksen had won the bronze. And a 26-year-old from Champaign, Illinois, would stand on the winner's stand for the first time in his career. Erik Henriksen with a bronze medal in the 500 meter.
It means a lot to me, and it means a lot for my mom and dad who couldn't be here because my grandma is kind of sick right now. And I hope they're watching TV right now and getting a look at it, because usually they'd be here to watch, and I hope they're getting a good look, and it's for them. That's for definitely sure.
So with Erik Henriksen's performance in the 500, the Americans already had 2 sprint medals. But the most coveted title of all is the overall sprint championship title. And entering today's races, American Dan Jansen had a good chance to get one of those overall medals. And again, how it works. The skaters competed at 500 and 1,000 meters yesterday. Then again today. The 4 results totaled, and the fastest total time producing the overall sprint champion. And entering his final race, the 1,000, you can see that Dan Jansen stood in 3rd overall. And now the closing moments of that race where Jansen was paired with teammate Nick Thometz. Just the luck of the draw, Erik Heiden has these 2 Americans skating against each other. Remember, it's not the pairing that matters, it's the fastest time. And now Thometz is ahead of Jansen. Thometz in the red there.
And Thometz is really going to help Jansen. Thometz finishes strong. That last lap for him is always fast. For Jansen, he kind of fades. So this can be a very good pair for him. He's getting a good draft off of Thometz down his backstretch. He's going to finish on that inner, and it's kind of psychologically good because you feel you're that much closer to the finish line.
Now Thometz in the lead as they come off the far turn there for the home stretch. 19-year-old Dan Jansen, who has already won a silver medal here in the 500. And Thometz beats him, but Jansen's time should be good enough to keep him in 3rd place overall. And that did prove to be the story. Jansen's 1,000-meter performance, skated against Nick Thometz, was good enough, combined with the rest of his performances over the weekend, to win him a bronze medal in the overall sprint championships.
It feels real good, especially after I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to skate this year. I'm really happy.
I know this morning you had a lot of confidence in your abilities. Do you feel that you lived up to what you had?
Yeah, I do. I skated a solid 500, even though I didn't get off the line as well. If I would have, I think I might have been able to get another medal there, but I skated real solid races all around, so I'm happy.
Surprising Americans, you say? Erik Henriksen was not through just yet. In the Americans 1,000, a race he skated alone because of the default, Henriksen used that long, loping stride to power his way through a win. And believe it or not, another bronze for the outrageous young man from Champaign, Illinois. But the big story today, of course, the 3rd place in the overall sprint championship came from Dan Jansen, the best finish since Erik Heiden's performance in 1980. For Erik Heiden, I'm John Tesh reporting from Heerenveen, the Netherlands.
All right, John.